Okay, so Palestine now. Not Palestine, sorry. Let me go with Trump in order. Um, Impeachment on these grounds, I don't think that it was justified. I believe that our president should be able to investigate suspicion of corruption and gathering evidence based on that. Once it's not falsified evidence, I believe our president should be able to do that using resources available to him. With respect to withholding aid to Ukraine, as a country, they already do it in the form of embargoes and sanctions. Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, China, etc., etc., etc. So him doing it directly, personally, is just he's just doing it without Congress. But get a it was to get evidence on from the Ukraine head of state, whatever. You could that may be a little fishy, but I still believe that president should be able to pursue investigation of corruption. That was the wrong grounds to impeach Trump on. But he should be impeached on the stuff that he did before. Can't remember them offhand, but those were more ethical reasons to pursue impeachment on, not this one. The reason why I believe they pursued this one is because they actually have documented stuff to show that how to prove their case as to his conduct or his activity, right? But the fact that they decided to let him off the hook, that is wrong. You shouldn't have pursued impeachment of these grounds, but the fact that you did pursue it, continue. Don't let him off the hook. Let the decision go forward and stand. It makes the DNC party look very ridiculous, worthy of ridicule for pursuing it and then not pursuing it. It seems as though they just did it as a petty as a petty just off the hook angry action by not continuing, by letting off it, by not continuing it. With respect that's good. With respect to Palestine assessment, no disagreement with that assessment there, very accurate. Palestine, they were in a fight that they didn't choose and they were ill prepared for that fight. They lost. That's how countries go. Yeah. It's unjust to them, in my opinion. And it is by no easy solution, quote unquote, that would be external military intervention. If someone decides to step in and force Israel to do something, force Israel to be fair to Palestine, that's the only way you could get a resolution to that there. With respect to Iran and Iraq, where US is there, the citizens don't want them there, but they have to think so. With respect to all the Middle East, the US just needs to pull out, and especially with the Middle East, those countries, those regions, they were set up bad, but they need to settle their differences themselves. They would launch their wars, they will do what they have to do. Some people would die, but at the end of the day, they need to determine their own grounds and their own future. The closer the state is to you, those your neighbors, your immediate neighbors, those are the places where you should intervene and influence. But halfway around the world, no. Leave those people there. Leave the conflicts to be regional. If there is significant disproportionality of one side to the next side, you can step in, but step in via the United Nations. And then, but leave the Middle East to settle out their differences. It will take donkey years. Israel is a superpower. They could run roughshod over everyone there, no problem. But let them settle their differences themselves. They have a proxy war with Iran going on in Yemen, where US funding Saudi Arabia, who is fighting in Yemen against the Yemenis people who are being funded by Iran. So Iran funding the Yemenis people and Saudi Arabia being funded by America fighting in Yemen. Those kinds of things need to stop. But leave it regional. Let the regional actors act on themselves. Right? Just don't be militant around the world. With respect to China and the what is called again by the whatever virus that is, yeah, it is blown out of proportion. It's not that it's not, it is dangerous, but it is blown out of proportion. The analogy would be you driving down the road in a car and you see the traffic is stopped up front, right? That is not a problem as long as you mash the brakes on the vehicle to slow your vehicle down and not impact the vehicle in front of you. It's not a problem. It's not a tragedy. It's not a disaster. If you do not mash the brakes to slow your vehicle down, then it will be a disaster. Then so you will have ambulance, death, whatever, right? As long as the Western world health protocols kick in, it will be contained and not be allowed to spread, and it will not be a disaster. As long as the protocols kick in, they are effectively, appropriately, no problem with that day. Kobe Bryant and his death, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. I don't view people as celebrities. I try to view everyone else as an equal. You may have attained a lot of stuff in your life and did a lot of good, no problem, but you are a human, I am a human, that is a day. His death would be significant to him and the people who like him. And because he was a big giant superstar, well, plenty other more people would like him compared to a normal, average, typical citizen person in the world. With respect to CNN has become a parody of themselves when they decide to inject their bias. When they don't inject their bias and they cover a story as a legitimate news source, they are very good. Like the earthquake that happened between Jamaica and Cuba the other day, a lot of information, a lot of good assessment, spot on, very good journalism. But when they cover their political stories, they inject their bias, and that's when they're stupid. Can't help that. That's how you earn your funding. You have to pay the bills somehow, and how they pay the bills is by pushing out those highly politicized pieces. Yes, at least they could just put this piece is sponsored by so and so multi-billionaire corporation and call that George. Alright, cool. I prefer to do videos on YouTube because on YouTube, when you play back a video, you can speed up to like 1.5, 2 times the speed. So it's like you don't have to spend too much time watching a video. You can listen to the stuff a lot more quickly. Alright, cool. Well, Facebook, you can't speed up the video, so the duration of the video you have to go at that pace there. But with YouTube, you can fast forward the video and listen to it at a quicker pace. Alright, cool.